Farm. It's so nice to see you yet again. We had an exciting conversation last week, and thank you so much for joining us and for those who went and checked it out on our YouTube channel as well. So today, this Saturday, we are discussing another topic that we are passionate about. Women who give birth at older ages, which has been referred to as advanced maternal age. It used to have an ugly name in the past. Yes, those women who have been receiving that so-called alarm clock, biology clock is ticking. Are you one of those moms? Have you been one of them? Are you planning to give birth at an advanced age? Meanwhile, this has been increasing dramatically globally, especially in the high-income countries. Women just making a decision to give birth at older ages for many reasons: professional, social, name it, financial. What's your reason? So the discussion starts today. And Josephine, how are you guys?
I think Anne is best suited to start the conversation.
Why am I the best to start the conversation?
Well, because I am just on account for 35. You want to tell us your experiences, or do you want to start from the fears you had as young?
I wasn't hoping for people's ages to come out in this show, but if you insist,
the ages have to come out.
Oh,
because we are about the real thing here.
Okay, if you insist. Well, I'm an older mom, and I'm a proud older mom of 1 and 2 months. My daughter is 1 and 2 months, and well, it's an awesome experience. That's what I can say. It's been like a very good experience compared to when I was a first-time mom at 28. I'm happier. I'm more relaxed as an older mom. The pregnancy itself was uneventful, except for one scare. I'll talk about the scare later, but I think the scare was not related because I'm older. It was more to do with my iron deficiencies, which have always been there. They were there in the first pregnancy.
Did you have any fears while growing up as a young girl? Were you threatened? Were you pressured into giving birth at, in Uganda, most women give birth from as early as 13, 14, 16. It's commonplace.
I'll give a disclaimer. First of all, guys, this I know is a very, very sensitive topic for a lot of people. So I'm speaking from my perspective, yeah. I was lucky to be among those people who never had any pressure from anywhere about having children. My family is generally very, very special. Everybody minds their own business. You mind your space, you do your own thing, and we are all there to support you as and when you need us or for whatever situation, but we don't mind each other's business.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
and
so I never had that pressure.
Society, friends, the biology clock.
I remember we had somebody in the newsroom back then, and I used to hear a lot of men say all these things to her, as much older than us, and they would tell her, oh, the reason you're mean like that is because you are, you haven't had a child yet, so you're unhappy and you're putting all your unhappiness on us. So I think there's always all of that. Society, yes, sometimes you're online back then and I'd see someone post a comment, she didn't have children, that's why she still looks like that. But, there are things like that. But directly, no, not about having children, like start having children now. I never really had a lot of that from my family.
I didn't get any pressure, to be honest. But internally, I don't know where the pressure was coming from. Not with the second baby.
Yeah.
The pressure to have the first baby was real. By then, I hadn't met Josephine, so she did see me panicking. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be 30. I'm going to be 30. And I'm thinking, what's going on? I thought I was...
I know when you did.
So when one of my friends had a baby and... we were both broke, like really, really broke. And then when she managed to successfully have a baby, the good thing we had medical insurance. So she had a baby and I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. If she can get away with it, then I can also get pregnant. And guess what? I think where there's a will, there's a way. And
things happen and we get pregnant.
Babies. I don't know where that pressure comes from. Can you relate, Flores? Definitely.
The pressure comes from society. We've grown with it. It has been pounded into our little minds when we are young girls. That, you grow up, you get an education, if you get lucky to have an education in that country, by the way, and then you go and start giving up offspring. It comes from the church. It comes from religion. Go henceforth, produce, multiply, blah, blah, blah. Even if now the world is already full, people are still pressuring women to give birth, and they're pressuring you to give birth at young ages, and they're ringing this bell for you. Biologic clock, so-called biologic clock. Yes, the biologic clock is a fact of life, which is really real. But the way they ring it, they want you to start practically having children when you're still even a bloody teenager. So I feel like we live with that. And when you say that you don't know where this pressure comes from, it's from society, it's from someone, just one person mentioning it. You see a woman being pressured into having kids. Trust me, I've received some messages in my inbox in the past of some young girls telling me, Florence, give me some advice. I need a man, like I'm approaching 30. Another one was like, I'm in my 30s and I feel like it's late. I need to have a child. I was like, you know what, girlfriend? Do not pressure yourself. Do not give into that pressure. And it's a liberating feeling when you decide to say, I don't give a fig about anything, because you feel like, wow, I'm free. And this is something that I realized at an earlier age. Maybe I became a rebel of sorts because I saw there was a bit of an injustice and I thought it wasn't fair. Why is it only even pounded onto the girl, Girl this, girl this, girl, we're the ones who get abused. We're the ones who are told to do this and that. You have to cook, you have to do this. That's why I was opposed to marriage. I know I'm married now, but I was opposed to so many society demands on the girl child, And children, it's a choice. It's a personal choice. They should give us that choice.
Where you are right now, do you have that pressure? Do you have people telling you, Florence, you right now?
Like the bloody Facebook. Like people see my posts, they see me with my husband. I've been married for what? 4 years now. Oh, is it 4 years? God, I'm very confused, but we've been together for almost 5 years. And guys have the guts to say, where is the evidence of the marriage? Apparently, to most Ugandans, and most people actually globally, I won't accuse only Ugandans, but it's mostly in that country of ours, and most African countries for that matter. The guys start asking for evidence. Like, are you sure you're married? You're not having a baby? Because, most Ugandans, when they marry, usually they give birth within the first year of marriage. It's like, boom, if they get married. Well, there are different types of marriages anyway in that country. But the minute someone gets a man and it's official, sperm, meet, egg, child, boom. So there's still that pressure, like, strangers really demanding you to have babies. Like, what the hell is wrong with the world? Let the woman breathe. Like, I will decide if I ever want to have a biological child, if I ever want to adopt. I'm about 35, I'm 36. So, yes, I'm at that advanced maternal age, which they used to call geriatric, but they stopped. Because really, when you think of geriatric, you're thinking of older people who are above 80, who need really special care. So yeah, in the medical world.
As a woman with a kids, I think the whole idea, I know where it stems from, why people want you to have children and join us. They want you to be miserable. You can't be married 4 years and too happy. You can't be sleeping the whole night. You can't be enjoying your life. You can't be on social media, because once you have kids, you will enjoy all these things of sleep deprivation, of kids calling mommy, mommy, mommy everywhere. You probably will have to take. You probably have to take off some time off your job. I get it, and I know this is a serious issue that stems really from the patriarchy. This has everything to do with men. Of course, women are the ones. There will be women who will pressure you to marry, but they don't know what they are. It is a whole systemic issue. It's coming from deep down, in a way of controlling women. Because guess what? When a woman is pregnant, or when a woman has a child or children, then they are well controlled. They can't be They can't be too happy. They can't be too free, because all your choices, you have to think about child. They need you to have children. So this is a serious issue. I think that is pushed by that, but we can't ignore the biological clock as well. Can we? Is
No,
it
we
real
cannot.
or is it not real? Is it a
No, we
thing?
can't. Florence, I have a question for you, and I'm sorry, I just always just get into this mode of asking questions. Florence, are you considering pregnancy at the advanced maternal age? Are you considering it? Or should we first let you have that conversation with Mr. B?
Well, I could call Mr. B here to come and talk to you guys and tell you whether we are ready to have a child. No, it's a conversation we've had. We're like, we want a little blonde hair or what? And then obviously, I'm not, aging like, going downwards. I'm aging going upwards. So it's something we've discussed, but not really like exclusively or something within a lot of attention. Like personally, I am fine with not having a biological child. Because, I have a daughter whom I didn't have to push, Lynette, whom I love so much, and my nieces and nephews. So I'm really happy at this stage even to adopt just even a baby from scratch. There are so many children who need help. You don't have to.
Yeah.
So, well, I won't compare it to adopting a dog, but there are so many children who I need, and really I can't be pressuring myself with being a biological machine. Sorry, I don't want to call it a machine, but for some people, they make us feel like we are machines, like we are supposed to give out babies, like you're a woman, your purpose in life is to give birth, Like every time I post anything, sometimes I post when I'm with Mr. B, people are demanding for a baby. They're looking for this mixed child, this beautiful, beautiful child. So that child may not come, darlings. So yeah, but of course, pregnancy is also scary. I think this is a topic we're also supposed to have, so I get scared. And there's a tale you told us, Josephine, about, being pregnant. It's something we shall discuss, but that put me off pregnancy. So.
No, guys, don't take my experience as a thing to.
No, but I've seen a lot of experiences. I've been a reporter. I've reported about maternal and child health, and scared me. Of course, being a pregnant woman in a country like Uganda, whereby we've been making top 10s of, the worst place to be a mother, the worst place to be. But anyway, let's not go so much into my personal and talk about the reality of the biology clock. Yes, guys, it's a reality. When a woman is aging, when you're growing, your eggs, we are born with limited eggs. And of course, we are shedding them off every single month. So when you're aging, when you're at an older age, like I am, the eggs lose quality, even quantity, it decreases.
Yeah.
So even the chances of you really getting a pregnancy may be much harder, because for younger girls, their eggs can easily be, fertilized. While for us older women, it might take ages. So if you decide to have a baby and you find yourself really struggling, just bear that in mind, that, you're dealing with older eggs, which, need time, there's a lot you need to put into that. So that's risk. I think we've now launched into the risks, Anne, right?
Yeah.
That's the risk, really.
Yeah, the risks definitely are real, because just like with pregnancy, you said in Uganda, most women have children earlier when they are young, even teen mothers. So, and we have one of the highest maternal mortality rates in the world. So that means the risks of pregnancy themselves are there, they are real, but they increase with age. That's for a fact. But also we are talking about more women having access to better medical care. There are more advances in medical care lately. And most likely the kind of woman who is going to choose to have a baby at 35 and older, we are talking about a Florence who is exposed, who has all the information she needs, and she has the money at her disposal. You may not be rich, but at least you can access medical care, you can access emergency care, things like that. So overall, I think it's okay if a woman chooses, like, let me first get to know myself better. for example, me, I didn't know myself when I had my first child. I was old, yes, physically, age-wise, 28, you're really old. But I didn't know myself. I didn't know what I wanted. I don't think I ever even asked myself why I wanted children at that point. So I just wanted to have a baby because I thought I was getting older and because all my friends were doing it. Can you imagine at that age you're still doing something out of peer pressure, something that is supposed to happen to you at 16. So I did that because there was this pressure going on. But now if you have the resources, if you want to first do other things, if you choose, let me first travel the world. People can say, let me first travel unencumbered with children and all these decisions around children. And then later you still have your eggs. There are more options for fertility. Yes, fertility might reduce, but I don't agree that the quality of the eggs gets spoiled or something. They are like bad eggs. Maybe the research is still completed. Yes, but you can still have a very healthy baby if you make the right choices, of course, leading up to it. If you're young and obese, for example, I'm not saying obese people shouldn't have babies, but it helps if you have a healthier lifestyle. It helps whether you're young or older to have a baby then. So
yes, I can still blush into all that. What people can't do, but yes, there are so many. There are so many risks and there are so many things that you can do. Like everything can be really avoided. For example, high blood pressure. You don't want to have high blood pressure when you're about 35 and you're planning on having a baby. Stay away from this. I remember reporting about high blood pressure and how it causes women to have preeclampsia and eclampsia. That moment, a woman can have seizures and then people think it's witchcraft. No, it's not witchcraft. Except for Uganda, when I was reporting, it was happening actually amongst the young ones. But like Anna said, it's now, when you're much older, the risk is much higher. So please do anything possible to have your pressure always checked. I remember when I was doing a story on gestational diabetes, which is also a risk, by the way, for a woman above 35, gestational diabetes. It happens only at the first time you're going to give birth, the first time you become a new mother. So watch out for that. You have to really go get checked in advance, even before you're planning for sperm to meet egg. So for example, right now, I know I'm more informed, but this is information that I never really had. Right now, I know better. I know if I'm planning to have a child, maybe, next year or after 40, by the way, we're going to have children after 40.
Yes, so yes, you go for it, even 48, even 47. You're having children.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can have children at any age. Yeah, okay, tell us that.
Meghan Markle just had her Meghan Markle just had
36.
36?
37, I think she was 37.
Oh, yeah. So it's possible. Don't pressure yourself. Do what you want to do. Have that education, but make sure that you check your health because the risks are real. That's a fact for any woman who becomes pregnant, whether they are young or older. I know if we started talking about the young ones, what they face, that's also another horror. And then, of course, you're at a much higher risk of a pregnancy loss. But this is something that can be avoided. Because if you have a pre-existing condition, it's like Corona at the moment right now. Like people are telling us, oh, okay, if you have diabetes, if you have heart disease, if you have this and this, if you have that and that, you get Corona, the chances of you dying are much higher. The same thing with us older women. Right now, if I had a pre-existing condition, I have diabetes, I have obesity, I have, a concoction of chronic diseases. That is really...
Yeah, but who said this whole thing, older women? We're not even old. Come on, guys.
I know, but we are categorized like that. Like I said, they used to call us geriatric.
My brother, who is a doctor, my brother told me, if I wanted, I can have 10 more babies. Like from now, I can go...
Jackson, did she have a birth at 50?
Yes, So if you really want to have your children at whatever age,
it's a bloody society, and we buy into their bullshit. You know, that is so sad. And that's the thing.
Saying we are older, things like
stop caring.
Maternal age. Can you imagine something like that being?
But that's the thing. I know we are quite older. We are. Look, hello, look at us.
Anyway, I just wanted to say.
I'm just going to say, and before you say what you say, that I don't know how the screen is placed on your sides. I'm on this side alone with the inner world, right?
Yes.
So I feel like old people that side, young people this side. So you guys carry on.
How old are you, Josephine, by the way?
Leave me alone. No. And you are going to say something.
I was saying, if I had a choice to have a baby, I would, again, I would have all my babies after 35. Why do I say this? By 35, you have, I think you're calmer as a person. Your emotions are no longer all over the place. The kind of experience I had with my first baby, where like I didn't even have money for milk. What kind of mother, fails to get enough money? Yeah, I was saying it's better for someone to first plan their life, know what they want, be ready financially, emotionally, physically. Of course, your physical body can be ready, but it doesn't mean that you should have a baby at 20 just because your physical body is ready. But now, at my age, I mean, you have a baby and you get to actually enjoy your baby sometimes, not all the time, sometimes when they are.
Yes, Josephine.
Younger wants to talk. Guys, I don't want us to give the impression, and I think we have to be very balanced about it. There are people who, so what Anne is saying works for Anne, the whole after 35 start having a baby. But then you have people for whom I am having my kids at 20 something, get done with all of them, and then start doing. So it works differently for different people. And like the risks, Florence, that you were speaking out about, I have a lot of friends, and also I've done stories, and I'm sure you guys have done stories where people had children later on in life, and there were all these things that came up. And so there's that truth that is there about having kids later on in life. So I think it's important that we balance that out and make it known that it for Anne it works. It's a thing she would have liked to do, but there are other women who get those complications, and doctors honestly tell you that it's from having them earlier. But also, Florence, the equipment, the medical facilities that are out there are not the same as what is here. So if I wanted to do, IVF is extremely expensive here. If I wanted to freeze my eggs and wait for a later time, it's, I don't know, do we do it here yet, Florence? Yes, Anne?
It has become, actually, Carol Riva, I think, has been, that's a journalist, by the way. She has been covering a lot of
I know.
And I believe now it's possible to do. But then again, remember, even these eggs, when you store them, because, they're not in your natural body, there's a chance, even if you store them when you're at a much younger age, there's a possibility of still them using that viability. So
so we have to strike that balance about how and that's why I said at the beginning that for me this is a very, very sensitive topic.
Yes.
So I when I'm speaking about it, and I'm glad that the way we are speaking about it is from our own perspective. So Anne is speaking about what worked for her, just to put it out there for whoever is watching and thinking these women are telling us to have children after 38. No, we're just saying
when anyone has been listening to the conversation, that's not what we are saying. We are saying it's your choice. You have a right to decide when to have a child. And if you decide to have that child at an older age, which we are stigmatized for, please don't give a fig about what anyone else is saying. That's what we're talking about. Because the conversation before has been give birth at much younger ages, We've not really discussed, people have not come out to talk about this geriatric pregnancy, the advanced maternal age, women giving birth after 35. So I'm telling people, it's your decision. If you're deciding to have children after 35, don't just go and grab any man. Like I told you, those women who came to my inboxes, it's like they felt like, wow, if they could just even have a child. I have, personal relatives who have just decided to, they need babies, So someone, they decided.
You tell those women, you send those women to me, and I will explain to them what it means to just have a child without a father, without anyone in the picture, without money, how hard it is. They need to see the realities, honestly. Yes. I think most people are closed in. They don't get to see what is happening. Honestly, there are people, we see a lot of sad stories out there. People who cannot afford to have babies, having babies. I think if you remove this whole pressure bit, I think women are best placed to make a choice to delay childbirth. It's good for you. It's good for you, honestly. You'll thank me later if you haven't had a baby yet and you don't rush into having that baby right there and then. You will thank me. Even your child will thank you because you won't be there kuvumaring the child.
So, but I have a comment.
I've been checking online. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Flory.
There's one from Instagram from Barbara. She said, I did have a baby at 35 and 40. I think the older you get, the more you're scared. But then again, you are more experienced.
But Florence, just for the record, I've always wanted to see what a mini you would be like, if they'd be like as loud and everything as you and up in the air. I really would have loved to see it. I mean,
objection,
no pressure. I'm just saying.
Objection, your pride.
I would have.
My client.
The reason people tax us for having babies.
I have a question, and again, this is for you, Florence. Does the thought of it like make you panic in any way? Like, I should, if at all I'm supposed to have a baby before 35, what they tell us, yeah, I should be having it now, or I should have had it, yesterday, or I'm going to get to a point and it's not possible anymore. Then, but will I do it myself? Do you ever have that anxiety, that panic? Did it ever set in at any point? And did it ever set in at a point? You had one child 10 years ago, another, and 10 years later, did you ever feel like, I'm going to get past the point where I can't?
Yes.
No, this is the thing. People do not want to believe when women say, we don't want to have children, and I will not have regrets if I'm past 50 and there's no child yet. I'm not going to have regrets. Like I said, I have a lovely child, Lynette, even if I didn't give birth to her, and great nephews and nieces, and your children. I love your children, you guys. So I do not have to have a child come out of my stomach, And if it happens, it will happen. I'll be prepared for it, by the way. And that's the thing. People are never prepared. I'm not going to have regrets. I'm not going to start saying, oh my God, I wish I'd had a child at 20. At 20, you guys, I told you when we discussed first that I was practically hungry, living from hand to mouth. How do I bring a child into that, And what? And then I'm advancing, I get a good job, and then what? I start having a baby. Would I be here now? Would I have come for my master's? These are things that are fulfilling me, things I revel in. I'm happy where I am. I love where I am. Like, if a child comes into the business right now, yeah, the child will be welcome because I've practically achieved most of the things that I want to achieve, obviously. Although right now I'm out of a job. you know that story.
Maybe it's hard to have that, but for me, I'm not like Florence. I think I'm one of those humans who are too human and too easily influenced. I'm just some confused mess because at one point I don't feel baby, like I don't feel baby kind of person. But then at some point I can be there and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to get to 40, and am I really sure that you want to end up with only one child? So I had that thought. It did cross my mind. So I wasn't sure. I wasn't 100% certain that I wanted to stay with only one child. And then towards 40, that thought actually crossed my mind, but it wasn't like how it was at the 30 mark. It was kind of mild. It was, intrusive, but not that much. So when the opportunity happened and child happened, yeah, it was a contraceptive fail. So when the child happened, I was like, right, I'll just keep this one. So I kept that bit of human being.
Contraceptive fail.
Yes, it was a contraceptive fail.
I wanted to ask a final question as though I've been done holding this interview. Which health choices, and did you ever make any health choices to prepare you for the baby that you are going to have after 35? Did you ever, or are you thinking about it and thinking, if I want to have another one, maybe this is what I need to do to make sure that things are proper, the eggs don't become scrambled chap, like, what are you doing anything?
Do I look like a baby machine factory to you right now? I cannot have more than 2 babies. Like, that's impossible, like humanly impossible. I would literally get the baby out myself if it happened to go in, but it won't. So anyway, I didn't prepare for the pregnancy, that second pregnancy, because I wasn't planning to get pregnant. But I was living my life how I do best, like take usual walks, try to stay healthy, but not maximum. But what happened after I had my baby, this one, I started thinking, I want to see her graduate university. And what does that mean? The moment you start thinking you want to see your baby graduate university, then it means you have to make healthier life choices. I started going to the gym before Corona, but now Corona things have happened, so no gym, but I have an app which I use on and off. I try to stay. I'm thinking I'm going to have to be healthier to make that intentional decision to be healthier in order to see my baby become 20. I wasn't one who was asking God, oh God, I want a long life. I stopped asking that prayer after seeing what long old people go through. Because I don't have like a retirement plan yet, so I was hoping I would die, then I don't have to save money, But now I am, yes, don't give me that eye. That was, but now I have to save, I have to plan ahead, I have to plan for 2 children. Actually, research supports me. They say you get to live longer as an older mom because you have something to look forward to. You make healthier choices and you laugh more, trust me, with a baby.
Okay.
Yeah, well, anyway, when it comes to like prepare, like now I'm just going to talk about the fact that if I was to really have a child and any other older woman out there, because we talked of the risks, there are so many, by the way, we haven't really finished them because there are chances of you having a preterm baby, premature babies, most of you know all of that. And of course, having a baby with, anomalies like Down syndrome, yes. But anyway, what can you do? What can I do if I wanted to have a baby? Of course, healthy choices, fine. I need to have a preconception appointment. Like I said, you have to prepare before even egg meets sperm. Like in advance, you go see that GP. I know we have bad health seeking behavior. And then when you're in a country where the health system is also shitty and messed up, there is a problem. And have regular prenatal care. A healthy diet, definitely, you can't go wrong. A lot of folic acid, and please be updated on your vaccines, So anti-vaxxers who are trying to give birth at 35, well, you might have to rethink that stance. Be clever also about your weight gain. Get checked. Like I said, get checked before. And also, stay active. And it helps, by the way, to also avoid having alcohol, tobacco, being around those things, those drugs, which can, make the situation worse. And healthy sperm is also important. It does count. So get a partner, let them also get checked for their sperm.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. The partner also does matter.
Yes, you need healthy sperm.
Yes.
This whole misconception that it's only the woman's egg, which is, but actually some research has showed that when men also get their sperm gets shittier as they age. So they need to get checked and see if it's good.
Yeah.
Not just the woman.
So right now, I'll tell Mr. B, if we had to have a child, to go have his sperm checked.
Yes. I have a question before we go.
Yes.
Karunji, are you planning to give us a baby number 2 anytime before you make 35?
It's not so much that I will, but I am considering it. I'm not getting any younger, and 35 is pretty close. So the chances of me getting pregnant and having a child before then are very slim or non-existent. So while I'm happy with my one, there's always that question at the back of my mind, like, are you sure you want just one? You don't want one more? And I'm yet to answer that question to myself. So in the meantime, I think I am considering it. All factors constant. Yeah.
Okay, we can't wait to meet the father. The future father.
But as Florence said, there adoption of whatever things and everything. So
yeah, there's everything. And right now in this world, I don't know, it's something we won't go into. Like, people are choosing even not to give birth for environmental reasons,
Yeah.
The more of us there are, the more we are harmful to the environment, especially here in the developed countries. So, hello.
But Florence, I asked you a question about panic, and I when I think about it for myself, I am very thankful that I don't have. I have absolutely no pressure from my family, my immediate family, that is. It might come in as a comment from a distant relative at a gathering when someone says that line of, oh, the baby needs a playmate. Then they start to prepare their speech. But otherwise, the choice, it really is mine to make. So sometimes I panic a little. Then I remind myself that I have to consider the environment that I'm bringing a child into. Can I afford that child? Another one. Am I able to be present for them emotionally, physically, and all of that? So there's so many questions that come into play for me, same as, the questions that Anne has constantly had over time with her kids. But yeah, it's been a good conversation. It's been nice to be on this side listening to the older women on the side of the screen.
You're joining us soon, darling.
We are coming for you.
But yeah, please, I think, Florence, our time is fast spent, so you might want to read a few comments from Facebook. I think I saw there was Ayub who says, aha, the seriousness with which Anne talks. Martha Songa said, I was hoping I would die, but Anne, ha ha ha. Mutiwa Stefan says, contraceptive fail. Anne, tuleke.
Oh, contraceptive fail.
I know there was Mandela who says, I hear the older women. But there was a comment, I think, I don't know where I lost it, Florence. There was 3 comments from one particular lady. She sent them earlier on, and she was speaking about some of the stereotypes that I thought were important for us to just speak about before we close.
Society judges us, from younger ages. Then you age, and then they're thinking you don't care, you're selfish. Like, you're supposed, like I said, they expect us to give birth. Like, if you don't give birth, you're not a woman. Like, people have said that to me on Facebook, strangers. Like, now I just, like, I love them. Like, yeah, screw you, not happening, like, in my own time. So there are all these sorts of stereotypes attached to this. And it's a topic, like I said, we don't talk enough about in that country. Because people feel stigmatized somehow for not, getting pregnant. Like, hello, it's your body. Like I said, it has to be my decision. And once a woman realizes that she has that power, that it's her choice, it is so freeing. When you stop caring about your so-called friends who are giving babies off right, left, and center, when you stop caring about those aunties who are judging you, when you stop caring about the mom, the dad, and all that, you're free, you're liberated. I encourage you guys, really, ladies, do not be scared. Take charge of your life. Make your own decisions. That's it.
Yeah. But in doing that, just to say that whether you're planning to have a child at any point or later on in life, it's very important to make healthy life choices. Yeah, just for yourself. So even if a baby does come along, it helps also to alleviate the other fears that might be there, that might come from that. So healthier diets, exercise, avoiding alcohol and other things that might, predispose you to any other things that might become a factor for you if you get pregnant, if you choose to get pregnant.
Yeah, if you choose.
Yeah, sure. That's true. I wanted to say about, there's one stereotype it's not a stereotype, it's a fact. Older moms have higher chance of having multiple
pregnancies,
twins or 3 or quadruplets or whatever. So I think most Ugandans like that, but it's a risk. It's riskier to carry twins than to carry one baby. So yeah, just keep in mind that can happen if you decide to to be an older mom.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, I think choice, the ability to know what Flores is saying, and also Josephine, the ability to be your own person and make that choice for yourself is very critical. It's very important. It determines everything. It depends how you move on from life, how you treat also the children you bring, how you support them, and everything. So I want everyone to take away from this, honestly. If you're a mother, if you've already have your children, well and good. If you haven't yet, well and good. First, be sure this is what you want to do.
I would have talked more about the twins, by the way. You may be expecting just one baby when you're preparing, but better prepare for about 3. I don't mean to scare you, but yeah, that's the reality. So thank you so much for joining us. As usual, we shall be seeing you tomorrow where I'll be talking about veganism. But that's it. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as YouTube. Go to our page, In Our World AFJ. Thank you so much, and bye-bye. We're signing out.
Bye-bye.